That would be an insane performance if Elazer was to make it into the playoffs.
Yep.
Whether it would be round of 12 or round of 8. But now he's got a very difficult opponent ahead here in Innovation. And there's always the question of how much of the previous match did he get to see? Because he had to play himself, right? Like in this kind of tournament format, you can't always pay the maximum attention. But if he had a bit of time, I'd have loaded up the VOD and checked out what happened real quick, which can help a lot.
We do know that he has a lot of support from the other European Zerg bros, right? Like maybe Lambo's busy playing a couple of games because of course he will be playing in Group D, but I'm sure a couple of the other dudes are still around and would have probably told him, it's like, hey man, 2 Rex in game 2, 2 Rex in game 3. So be aware of it. That's not something that really takes a lot of studying. So I'm sure that he knows about it. We'll see. I kind of like what the Muslim had to say as well. Elazer is somebody who definitely does adapt throughout the series, right? Like he might just play somewhat standard in the first game, but if he feels like he can win in a certain very specific way in game 2, he's gonna go for it. We saw him against Trap, getting a 2-0 victory over Trap. That's sick. Once again, Trap is probably getting sick and tired of these European nerds all-inning him in ZVP, but he got the victory. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's say Elazer steals, you know, one of these Terran matchups. I think it's going to be very hard for him, don't get me wrong, against both Ino and Maru. But then he's got a really good chance in advancing, right? Because he still gets to play Patience as well. And, I mean, obviously no guarantees, but I think Elazer's ZVP is pretty sharp.
We saw it yesterday. Every single series is important. Like for some players, it looked really good, and then suddenly, you know, they were out of it. Showtime started 0-2, went 3-2, and then advanced. Like this is... Even after being 0-2, apparently anything's possible, so...
Yeah, it's a bit of a cliche, right? Like the never give up. It was like, I never give up. I lost a grunt in ESWC and I was ready to give up, you know? But Showtime really showed some fantastic fighting spirit, and obviously that's what you need in a tournament like this. This is so big, there's no need to go down on yourself until it is truly over and out. And Showtime showed that yesterday. And it's also important not to get too happy early on, because even if you start off 2-0 in groups like this, there is no guarantee you advance. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this beautiful TVZ. Of course, the Reaper just getting a little scout off, not getting too much done yet. Innovation playing a triple CC opening over here on Triton, Todd.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so consistent with the macro that when Innovation goes for this kind of build, you know, we didn't mention the interview and what he was saying and all that. Like, just because you're confident doesn't mean you have to be super aggressive. Like, you can also go for this style where you go quickly up to 3 bases, get ahead economically, ideally, or do very well on the economy side of things and tech, and then just apply a ton of pressure. Like, Innovation, when I watch him play against Zerg, like, on one hand, it's like inspiring, you know, he does like really well, but at the same time, I'm like, if I had to play against this guy, I'd be so discouraged. He's just so consistent with everything. Like, his mechanics are like immaculate. When he goes up to 4, 5 bases, he's still not missing a beat. He's being aggressive all over the map, multitasking like a god. He's just so impressive across the board, in my opinion.
Yep, he's got good micro, but I think the biggest thing about Innovation is just his ability to produce an insane amount of units. You give him 3 bases, he's going to be spot on, but 4 bases, he will also be spot on. And it just kind of feels like the Marine Push or the Marine Parade, it never ends. Seen a little bit of that when he was playing against Patience as well. It's like, every single time he eats a big disruptive shot to the face, he's got 2 more Medivacs showing up somewhere. I'm like, geez Louise, where does he get the units from? We can see Ino getting a little feisty here. This is excellent defense by Elazer. This kind of stuff is not massive, right? But it's so nice because it's giving Elazer a lot of freedom. He also gets the good scout off. We have made some jokes about Elazer in the past and his lack of scouting. Well, that is a fantastic scout to get into the main base. This is a sweet start, right? Because I'm sure that Elazer is feeling it a little bit. So getting off on the right foot in a best of 3 like that, I think is incredibly important.
It's a bit weird that he was this aggressive because he had very few units. Like, we saw him go for a 3rd command center very quickly. So I think maybe he was hoping that Elazer would overreact and then queue a ton of Zerglings, but he just kind of made enough to repel this attack. And whenever you lose your initial Hellions and the Reaper, that means you kind of lose map control for a little bit, and creep spread kind of gets out of control from there very, very quickly. So now, like Elazer, nothing's being denied. He knows that he's bought himself a ton of time. He drones up as much as he wants to for a long time, and he's already ready and in position against that one Banshee.
I find that Banshee skin so odd. It always makes me feel like it's a paper Banshee, you know? It's a 2-dimensional Banshee. Like every other Banshee skin, I think is really cool. It's like, I know Mapu, I know there's a little bit of dimension there, but...
Well, that paper hits really hard.
Yeah, it does.
Paper ready to smash rock.
Especially if you get 2 of them, obviously we know that Banshees, they function a little bit better. You can see that Ino is actually playing this very safe, right? Obviously losing the Reaper early on, then losing 2 Hellions. He's like, all right, let's not lose the Banshee too, because then I really have very little map presence. And that's where things can get very dicey. We, of course, can see that Elazer is not doing anything super odd. He's been droning up, he's getting his 1-1 upgrades, he's getting Baneling speed, and he will now start producing a couple of additional Zerglings, and maybe eventually try to get a little feisty with a few Banes here and there.
Yeah, this is really the game where, if you're a laser, you really need to exploit all the freedom you've been given by shutting down the early game attack. Like, make sure you're on point with the creep spread in particular. Like, on a map like this, it's not the longest rush distance. You know, he's already almost at the center of the map. It's going to help a lot. Seeing units coming, setting up engagements, and getting appropriate defense on his way to securing that hive and reaching all of the upgrades that he wants to get. That into perhaps that hive tech.
Yeah, that Banshee just chilling on the right side. You know, really wanted that Overlord, and he does get the Overlord in the end. But Burrow already being researched, Johan, and that's always a fun upgrade. There's a good chance that if Elazer just wants to, I want to say, get up to Ultras as quickly as possible, that he's going to burrow some Banelings at certain places. Instead, he drops down the Spire at this point.
This Link run by.
Yeah,
the wall might be off on the, or down on the other side. He gets in.
Okay, that's actually very big. Now a couple of Marines do start showing up as well. There's so many upgrades finishing on the right side. Baneling speed is done. We can see them rolling.
And Elazer's going to attack the third base at the same time. He's got more Links and Banes headed in that location. The tank is going to try and help out against those Banelings. Good split here from Elazer to try and prevent that, but the Hellions were in position to get rid of the Banelings. He still lost 12 SCVs.
I actually would have loved to see those Banelings go either into the natural or all the way into the main base. I don't think Elazer expected that tank to be there. Great focus fire, of course, by Innovation. I mean, that was not bad for Elazer, but it could have been so much better.
Yeah. The Guardian here, the Bouncer.
Yep.
That one tank.
Burrow. Hey, Burrow's done, right? Or did he cancel it?
No, he just completed.
Nice. I'd love to see a couple of burrowed Banelings.
Especially with the Watchtower in the center. With all the vision that you get, it's like so easy to see the army coming. You can definitely set up some good ones. And yeah, and if you're Terran, you're not really expecting this off creep as well. It's not like you're going to be scanning in that position very often. But once the first one has been used, then Innovation will really be on notice.
Oh, this could be big because there are 2 Medivacs with Marines on the right side of the map as well. Is Elazer paying attention? The answer is yes. Now don't forget about the Baneling boss on the left side here. Oh my goodness, Elazer is all over the place. He's going to connect with quite a few Marines here.
Gets
SCVs as well.
9 SCVs. He's going to get out of there. Elazer's doing a ton of damage. He's doing fantastic in this game. Repeat what you say to Smig.
Well, he's not there yet. He's going to go for another big Ling run by, and he gets in again. There are no units at all in the natural. And at this point, now it's really starting to hurt for Innovation. We can see him losing close to 20 SCVs. What is happening with that double drop that he sent out on the right side? Did he just send it home? I guess
it's in the main.
Yeah, I guess he got the... Oh, it is.
Sneaked around.
I like how Mapu showed us the wrong map.
It's so close to the supply that I actually caught it with the corner of my eye.
More Banelings. Where is Elazer getting all these Banes? Kill the Orbital. He can actually kill the Orbital. Yes, there you go. I mean, why not, right? Yeah. If it's just sitting there. Now, that's a massive pickup. Obviously, losing the spawning pool is not good. He didn't lose it yet. He was rebuilding one. I think he's afraid of losing it.
Yeah, spawning pool had to be restarted there.
So this game is heating up though. I mean, Elazer picking up a base is sick. Losing the 4th base though is very painful. He is getting a 5th base on the right side. Innovation is about to spot that. I don't think Elazer wants to lose that one as well.
He's teaming so much. Yep. Some nice target fire here on Banelings and then pick up. He's going to head for the main base now. The backup spawning pool. Actually a funny location here around the main base, but then now there's so many units. Elazer needs to send everything back. Innovation almost taking a supply lead here.
Yeah.
For a moment, he's getting such good trades with his drops.
This drop has actually done an absolutely fantastic job right before the 2-2 upgrades of Elazer kicking in. Some great focus fire, of course, by Ino on a couple of those Banelings. Now he's going to unload a few more Marines there, but the Queens are going to try to save the day. Don't forget that Ino must be building something on the other side of the map.
Oh, the Medivac! The Medivac!
With the Marines inside of it. Like, Ino needed damage, but Ino got damage.
And now 6 Mutalisks are going to be on the way to try and shut down this big drop inside of the main base. I see some more forces here around the top. Moving on to the right side of the map. Innovation still being aggressive across the board, starting the +3 infantry weapons. But yeah, 9 more Mutas. Elazer might finally be able to shut this down properly.
Yeah, if those Mutas were only came out a little bit quicker, right? Another tiny Ling run by this one, not going to be super successful.
Oh my god, he blew up his own tank.
Yeah, one tank does go down to the friendly fire. Come on, Elazer, I know you want to use Mutas on the other side of the map, but you really got to start taking care of these few Medivacs. They have just been keeping him way too busy.
Mutas going for the chase. Ignite Afterburners are running out.
That's
Is he going
a
to be
good
able to
catch.
kill all of this?
That's a really good catch. I mean, the Mutas are on the top side of these medevacs as well. The Marines will unload, but all of those Marines are going to go down. And you look at the supply slot. I know you're always looking at it. Elaze's army is actually quite a bit bigger than Innovation's army at this point.
He just got a giant cleanup, and he's actually going for a lot of Mutas. He didn't stop after just 10 or 12. No, he keeps on adding more and more. Pneumatized Carapace is on the way now. Innovation still has no fourth base. Elazer's on 5 bases. He's doing fantastic here.
Yeah, he's the 4th one running now as well, and he's at 78 rounds. I can't believe he maintained such a good work account during all of this. Maybe small oversaturation here and there. He's going to queue up a couple of Overlords so he won't be supply blocked anymore for the rest of the game. Now he is still working with Lair Tag. This is very important. And right as I say that, obviously he drops the Infestation Pit. But let's see if Elazer can get some more damage done, because that is very important. Because Lair Tag units are good, but if Inno gets ever close to maxing out, especially with +3 attack, you can actually take some really bad fights as a Zerg player as well. So it is important to reach Hive eventually.
Yeah, with Elazer's economy being so good, I expect an insane amount of banelings on creep to be able to just go for the defense consistently every time Innovation's attacking. He's actually fighting against this. Like, I mean, he has so many Mutas anyway. I don't know about the trades though.
It's questionable, I think, Johan. Questionable. I mean, getting a medevac and stuff is cool, but he ended up losing 4 or 5 Mutas in the process. That's still pretty expensive. He's going to rebuild them immediately. Don't forget that his main base has actually been taking a little bit of a beating. This is the lair, and I'm worried because he does need Hive eventually. The Mutas have dove into the main base. I feel like Elazer is throwing away a lot of units at this point, Todd.
He's really struggling splitting his units against this one drop, or even the drops that were happening earlier between the 5th base and main base. And he was really busy microing the Mutas on the other side. Innovation is like, oh, you want to have your Mutas inside of my base doing damage, then I'll do damage with this one drop. He keeps on going back and forth. Got so many drones. This one drop value was just insane.
Yep. And from this point, I actually think that Inno is going to take even better fights, because +3 attack is done. Do we have Banelings on the right top side, or are those just Zerglings? That's just Lings, but +3 is done for these Marines. So they're actually going to finally take favorable fights against the Lings and Banes as well. How is this medevac still alive? Come on. We don't 9 HP for
He's going across the map. And he has to send everything back. Look at the center of the map. He's sending his entire army. Like, that one single medevac drop drove Elazer completely crazy just now.
He just made 58 links, Todd. You said you wanted to see a lot of Banelings with the economy. I think you're going to see a lot of Banelings, but the fight is going to be off creep into a lot of tanks, potentially near a planetary fortress as well. I'm worried. I mean, the Bane count is good, but I am actually quite worried here. It's an insane amount of Zerglings, but he's down in upgrades. Here we go. This is the moment for Elazer.
There's Tors as well. Mutas are coming in. Elazer is looking to try and blow up this entire army and then get a massive cleanup. Tanks are in siege. They're going to move in position to try and help out against the rest of the army of Elazer.
He doesn't
lost pretty much everything, and I mean, they traded, but he doesn't get the planetary fortress. Innovation saved a lot of the mules and SCVs that he had up there. Everything's burning or low on hit points.
Oh, I think we had a couple of Banelings there, but they got picked off. I mean, that may have looked somewhat decent for Elazer, but it wasn't, guys. He really needed to take out the base because he's not working with Hive. These Banelings looking for good connections are not going to get it either. Yes, he's still got a good work account, and he'll be able to take another somewhat decent find. Mapu is showing us right now that the Hive is close to finishing up. A couple Vipers would be awesome. Like, Blinding Clouds are sick, Ducks can be sick, but of course we want to see some Ultras down the line.
Elazer absolutely relentless here with those Ling run-bys. And Innovation just can't be walled off everywhere. He's going for the Sensor Tower.
I love that, actually. I think getting a Sensor Tower here is smart. Bane is going to try to once again connect with a Planetary Fortress. Is he going to be able to get it? The Marines trying to shut down the Banes. This time Elazer does get it, but it wasn't cheap. That was a lot of Lings. It was a lot of Banelings.
But at what cost, Kev?
Can Innovation counter?
He's looking to try and do just that here. He's got a lot of Marines. And actually evening the supplies. Remember, he's ahead in upgrades because even though Elazer went for Hive, he never started at 3-3 upgrades.
It just finished up, right? Or the Hive, that is. So even if he starts it now, it's still going to take a little while. But Elazer at least taking out that base. That's pretty freaking sweet. And I think Inno had enough of this game at this point. He's floating over his main base. You see not a left starting there. That's kind of odd. Inno making a big push now on the right side as well. Do we have enough Banes? That's quite a few, but I'm not sure if that's really enough to roll in. So losing a base that quickly, that's not a good sign. Look at the minimap. There is stuff blinking everywhere. Innovation dropping multiple locations at once. Well, that's just a single Marine. But that's a kind of a Todd Marine, you know. That one's been going to the gym for a little while. It's going to take down a hatchery.
And yeah, losing all of the Mutas earlier makes it really difficult. Like, there's that one Banshee still. He's going for Corruptors now. Elazer still trying to get the cleanup here. They're both attacking in multiple places at once. Innovation, a lot of his bio is going to get cleaned up inside of the main base. Thor being left behind. Corruptor is going to go for the chase here for a little bit. He was still dropping in every one of those bases. That one, Marine. It's like, I can do this, guys.
It's been putting in the work. It's gonna have to start stimming eventually. I gotta say, maybe Inno got a little carried away there, dropping everything into the main base on creep, because Elazer got some fantastic bailing connections there.
Yeah.
He's gonna fire up Adreno Glance for the Zerglings. That's gonna help, of course, a little bit. It's funny that he lost the backup spawning pool before the spawning pool, by the way. I can get behind that.
It's always nice to have a little bit of a backup plan. Innovation, he just finally scanned on that 4th base because there was a burrowed Zergling there. So that's something that was prevented from being taken for a long time by Laser. 76 drones to 61 SCVs, obviously Innovation. You don't have to scan that much, so he's got plenty of mules to work with.
The problem now for Elazer as well is that he's got a whole bunch of Corruptors, and like, yeah, they can start working on the Medivacs, but I feel like we have at least 10 Medivacs out on the map, if it's not more. Oh, that's way more. 13 Medivacs, 26 supply Medivacs at this point, but hey, that's gonna be very nice. Elazer is once again going for a big counter. Elazer's got a lot of workers this game, and will he be able to get the Orbital again? If Innovation is not paying attention, he might end up losing this Orbital command. A couple of SCVs gonna try to repair it. I'd love to see the Corruptors go for that. I don't know if he has any left.
They're just gonna trade a base for a base. I mean, Elazer evacuated with the drones. Innovation evacuated with the command center, but lost the SCVs, and now Innovation's pressing forward. Elazer is still morphing a lot of Banelings. He only has 6 out on the map right now. He needs way more than that.
Yeah, he's morphing at 20 additional Banelings, but most of them are actually going to get cancelled. That was so unfortunate. It was a little indecisive as well. He went down the ramp, and then he turned around again. He was eating a lot of free shots. This is it. Elazer needs a big cleanup, and I'm just not sure if that's ever going to happen against these 3-3 Marines. They are just a little too powerful, Todd.
And that's it. Innovation wins map number 1. But that wasn't without a bit of a struggle there. Elazer at some point was ahead by quite a bit of supply.
Yep.
Attacked off creep. Innovation got the necessary defense, and then he was the one being super offensive. That one drop in the main base was the absolute MVP in this game.
Yep, I also think, you know, the big fight that Elazer took near the 4th base, right near that planetary fortress, the first time when he didn't even get it, like that was nowhere near good enough. That was such an expensive army of Elazer to lose, and Inno lost quite a bit as well, but he kept the base alive. And then he forced Elazer to morph like 30 more Banelings to finally get the planetary, but at that point I really feel all momentum was in the corner of Innovation, and if you give someone like Inno a little bit of momentum, he's gonna run away with the game. That was fun though.
Yeah, action-packed.
Yeah.
What do you know? When Maynard's not casting, we get the best series.
For the people at home, we often joke a little bit about people getting either good series or bad series. And Maynard's like, man, I've been getting so unlucky. Everything is 2-0 and ends in 12 minutes. I was like, I know that feel. I had a little bit of that on the 2nd day of the open bracket. But I will not complain about that first game. Hopefully the 2nd game of this series will give us similar action. Maybe even better if Elazer can tie it up. The map is going to be played on Ephemeron. Also a good map to go for a couple of Zergling counters. Maybe Elazer is wearing his cheeky shoes. You never know. He's got a couple of feisty builds up his sleeve, though.
Yeah, definitely one of the more aggressive Zergs at times. But here we are starting in the bottom right-hand side of the map. Playing as the red there and representing Kaiser Gaming in South Korea. It's Innovation.
And on the left top side, looking at the Polish Zerg representing Ego Esports, it is Elazer. Made it to the finals of GSL vs. The World 2019. That was played over in Seoul, South Korea. Nobody really expected much from him in that tournament. They were like, well, he's got Dark in the first round. He's never gonna win that, right? Well, wrong. He did win that. Then he had Time a little bit later as well. And that was like one of the best CVT performances I've ever seen of Elazer. Especially because I'm a little bit of a Time fanboy. Absolutely fantastic Terran player from China. It's a shame that he couldn't make it to this event. But I was like, man, Elazer is good, but I don't think he's gonna win that one. And I think he won 3-0 back then. I was like, holy hell, am I underestimating the Elazer CVT a little bit? Perhaps.
You know what I always wonder about and that I find very impressive in these players is like how they're able to stay mentally strong in this kind of series. I just feel like if I was Elazer, I'd be thinking like, really? Like, all of this happened in the game, I played this well and then I still lost? You know, like, in your head, it's like, you know, Linkin Park song queuing, I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, like, Innovation is still winning.
I think he's got some good vibes actually going on right now. Still because of his 2-0 victory over Trap, right? That's something that you hope for, but you don't really count on. And I think Eleza also is aware of the fact that even if he ends up losing this series, there's no man overboard yet. He could still make it into the round of 12. It was always going to be hard in this group, but he's a confident individual. I actually think in that first game, if he doesn't get so overeager to kill that fourth base, and maybe just fire up that hive a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Because he had a lot of things going for himself, man. A couple of those run-bys, they were doing serious damage. And don't forget about the early game run-by, when he had those 9 Banes. If he ran those 9 Banes into the natural or main base, I actually think he gets so much more done than just a single tank shutting that down as well. So I don't think it was the kind of game where you would have to feel like, man, I'm just outclassed, you know, from the beginning to the end. No, it was competitive.
But at the same time, he played really well and then still lost in the end. That can be a little bit, I find discouraging at times, but obviously these guys, they practice every day, they play against the world's best. And I don't think Eleza should be letting himself get too sad from this, too affected. I just know I'd be, like personally, I think it'd be very hard. I'm like, oh my God, like after all I did, this is how this ends.
No, I mean, it's obviously frustrating to lose a close and competitive game, but it would have been a lot worse if he was just all dominated from the beginning to the end, where you're like, well, this is not going to be it. I think at this point, he's like, well, I'm actually competitive here. I gave him a good run for his money, and that's something that you never...
He made him bleed, that's one way to look at it. Cup out full.
Yep. I actually think what happened, what helped as well, is that I feel like the level of the foreign Terrans, and I know that they haven't really been able to show it this year at the Inter Extreme Masters, and that's something I'm truly a bit sad about. But I generally believe that the level of the foreign Terrans is higher right now than it's been in a long time, right?
Yeah.
Clem didn't show it, but we know that that young man is capable of greatness. Uturmo had a couple of fantastic games, and I think in TVZ he's an absolute animal. And if the Terrans get better, then obviously the European Zergs will also get better playing against Terran, right? Because they play with each other.
Clem didn't show it necessarily with the results and going really far, but in his games he was still very competitive, and he's still getting really good in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I just had super high hopes for Clem, but I'm sure that he will deliver this year. Like I have no doubt about that. Says Rome wasn't built in one day, unless your name is Rainer and you just like had success right off the get-go, right?
Yeah. Rainer is like a very unique one, I guess, with that. Rainer reminds me, because like, you know, he's got an outgoing personality, you know, and he's very confident. He's like so happy, like he shows more emotion than most pro gamers. Stefano in a way, in regards to that.
I can see it. Overlord goes down. Eleza got a little bit of a scalp, but didn't really see all that much, as Innovation is going for a rather traditional opening over here, Todd.
Oh, there's the third CC.
But with a very quick stim behind it as well. We'll see if he can get anything done. Don't forget, last game he obviously opened 3 base as well. But then it was like a couple Hellions, got a little adventures with the Hellions, lost them rather quickly. And I gotta say that Banshee was like the biggest safety Banshee of all time. It was literally just checking the right top side of Triton. This game, Innovation is gonna go for a much quicker stim. And we'll see if we can get any damage with that. Maybe gets a little crazy with all these Hellions.
Oh, the Queens are
out of position. A little bit of a barbecue here. A couple of links go down immediately. Good evacuation of the drones. But are
He's gonna block them.
Out of the woods here?
No way. Huh? Does he really lose 0 drones here? No way.
Oh, he's losing a lot of mining time, and that's as well. But it's obviously going to be a lot worse.
He kills so many Hellions.
You know, wow.
He lost 0 drones, kills 6 Hellions just like that.
That is absolutely a fantastic trade. Just 12 Zerglings. We'll see if this Viking can get something done. But of course,
I'll show you Hellions how it's done.
That's
or not.
He must get 1 drop. Oh, come on. Did he get 1 drop? Yeah, he got 2 kills. So I guess 1 drop. An Overlord. Oh my god, no, he got 2 Overlords. Eleza refuses to lose a drone this game. But what I am worried about, though, is that Innovation does have much quicker sting. And I hope that Eleza doesn't get carried away right now, that he doesn't feel overconfident. But that was beautiful defense, you're spot on. I really thought he was going to end up losing at least 5 or 6 drones there. The fourth base, maybe a tiny bit late. Once again, quick burrow on this side of Eleza.
I liked it last game. Like, even if you get just a few good connections from the get-go, it's well worth to actually go for that. Like, you can afford it.
And you scare your opponent as well, right? You might actually force Innovation to go for a few more scans than he's willing to go for. I do think that hatchery maybe could have been a tiny bit quicker, though, for Eleza. I think it's going to be very important because he's already at 68 workers. He's now producing more. Is he building 2 hatches at once? Maybe 1 macro hatch somewhere in the main base? Yes, indeed.
And you're attacking the 4th base. That's where Innovation is going to be heading.
I hope he scouts this though, Todd, because 16 Marines with Stim can actually get a very quick cancel on that base, and that would be disastrous for all the good Elazer has done. If he loses the hatchery here, he's suddenly in a little bit of trouble, I'm afraid.
Seems like he's mistiming it. Or maybe that's why he's going for the counter-attack.
Yeah, that's nice.
He might be fine losing this, or like fine.
No. No Zerg is fine with losing this base. That'd be really not good.
Well, if you kill 20 SCV on the other side of the map.
Yeah, then we're talking about something. Then it might be a slightly better trade deal.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be 20.
Nope. But he also kept the base alive, right? That's the most important thing. I was a little bit concerned there, but a few Banes were morphing near it. Well, Drilling Claws. Feisty. I mean, I guess Elazer did stick Ling Bane Muda for quite some time. Well, actually, it was just Ling Bane for the longest time. Then eventually, a couple of Mudas were added to the process. Innovation is like, you know what? If you're going to play the same way, I'm just going to get an insane amount of Wither Mines with Drilling Claws.
And also, the tanks weren't really attacking last game. They were mostly there to protect the 3rd base. Remember, they weren't moving across the map. So now, Innovation has a wall of near his natural base. So there's nothing to worry about here on the right side of this. It's mostly units are going to be coming through towards your 3rd base, on which he also has a wall of. But his units that come out, they're going to be rallied there. So I kind of like the change. It feels like you don't need tanks here. And Drilling Claws, I think, are going to be very effective with the Widow Mines on the other side of the map. Like, it's going to force a lot of Overseers all the time. And
it's also great against run-bys, right? And Elazer was going for run-bys non-stop, but it's so nice for the Talonblade to just put 1 or 2 mines at a certain location, and they'll get good shot after good shot off. I like how he's getting a full wall off here as well, and has a couple of mines in front of it. Ino's playing just very safe here, basically, saying like, I have the feeling that eventually I'm gonna take a couple of very good fights. Elazer is setting up multiple traps. We can see a couple of Burrowed Banelings on that ramp. There are Burrowed Banelings on the right top side as well, so this is shaping up to be a pretty good game. Maynard is hating us right now, though.
He gets to enjoy it as a spectator. That's still decent. Marines gonna get caught. Only one single one of them dies. The Spore actually is gonna kill one of those Medivacs before it can unload any unit, and Mutas were already ready. A fantastic cleanup here. So far by Elazer, a bunch of drones get killed, but
that could have been way worse. But there was a double drop. The ones in the natural, excuse me, the 3rd base.
That was a triple drop.
Yeah, 9, I guess. I can't do math right now. Yes, killed 9, and these Wither Mines killed 7, so 16 in total. I gotta say, that could have been a lot worse as well for Elazer, right? Like, the mines were very clumped up, so they're kind of shooting at the same targets. Could have been a little more devastating. Ino is rich, though, with the way that he opened up. So I think he's not too devastated about the way that played out. But
no! No! What?
He's just having fun.
He's trying to bait him.
I don't know, man.
It's like he sees something on the minimap, because the vision of Banelings is actually very small when they're burrowed like this.
Is Ino just trolling us? That's way too specific to put it exactly there.
Yeah.
Ino's just a troll.
He's like, do it. No, I won't.
I've like never seen that before. Huh? Guard the Burrowed Baneling. Okay.
Don't let anybody get through this bridge.
Imagine if you're that Marine, Todd. You know, it's a very fierce commander. It's like, stay on it, don't move. Like, like the boss. Throws down a scan. Is going to be able to take a support base. Now, the Hive is halfway done. That's a very important upgrade to keep track of. He's going to stim past it.
Yeah, way earlier this game, feels like.
Yep.
Lots of Banelings morphing. I think Elazer realizes he's about to be attacked. And Innovation's been very wary of those run-bys on the left-hand side. Look at this, but he's the one that gets caught here.
That's sick, actually.
Oh,
the Wither Mine's not firing either. That didn't work out at all for Innovation. Was going to try to get a couple of pushes going at the same time. The Planetary isn't even done yet, so these SCVs could be in a lot of trouble as well. Ino's forced to return. Banelings have to make up their minds.
He's coming in from the other side.
He's not going to kill it right now. It's close, but he's not going to be able to kill it. Those Banelings are going to disengage as well. That started off disastrous for Innovation, but he kind of turned it around. Good scan there, making sure that he didn't step on those Burrowed Banelings. The Hive is done, though. Can we get 3 upgrades, Adrenal Glands, and maybe an Ultralisk Cavern?
This was pretty bad, actually, by Elazer. He lost so many Banes.
It started so good, but he got over-eager.
He damaged the command setup, but didn't finish it, and he damaged the Thor and didn't finish it. So all of these Banelings, like, they were very costly for him to lose at this stage. He can't be losing units right now. Innovation's maxed out. Elazer, what are you doing? Pull back, wait to max out, and then re-engage.
Yep, he's
on
got
creep against this army.
He's got a little bit of gas in the bank. He's got 40 Banelings at this point. He was waiting for those 40 Banelings. Can those Banes find the connections that they're looking for? He's trying to send in just a couple of Banes at a time because he wants to activate the Widow Mines. But Innovation is actually doing a really good job and not even using those mines. Ultralisk Cavern is going down. He's going to try to buy some time with the counter-attack. There's no missile turret here, so the Mutas can be successful. The Banelings are getting decent hits, but the splits by Innovation are ridiculous.
Yeah, he did such a good job negating a lot of that damage. You have the fourth base on the other side. He's been taken out by Mutalisk. Laser, can he finally get the cleanup? He's going to roll in there with a ton of Banelings. Innovation has been so on point with the micro, even on creep here.
Yeah, he's like making it look effortlessly. Have you seen it? Like he's like, yeah, no, I'll just split my buyer a little bit. That was pretty good actually. Few more Banes come in though, but once again, Innovation doing a really good job in making sure a couple of his Marines survive. And these Marines do have +3 attack already, and that makes them incredibly powerful.
Oh, he's not paying attention there. You can't be losing this many. As if he's already 31 of those have gone down. Those Mutas are going for on a rampage.
I feel like all that Laser needs like 1 or 2 Banes in the middle of those Marines.
He doesn't have enough. And Innovation gets on top of the Morphine Banelings. Some of those are going to finish. Can Laser finally get the cleanup? They're just trading left and right on each other's side of the map.
I'm afraid that being down 2 upgrades is just a little too painful there, man. It makes the Marines and Marauders so much more useful in situations like this. Inno's going to drop a couple of mules as the Marines are there to keep that mineral line safe. And this army is just not being stopped. There are so many Medivacks. How many kills do some of these Marines have? I feel like they've been fighting forever. I love Maru selects the 1-0. Maybe there's been some reinforcements as well.
He's got 3-3 now, that's the thing.
7 kill Marauder.
And Laser's, he's kind of broke compared to where he should be at. Like he's got a good walker count, but they were not really like saturated on the correct basis. He's catching reinforcements. That's really well done here by Laser with those Mutas. But he still needs to clean that army up.
If he loses this base as well, though, he's going to be a 2-base Zerg, though, and that's kind of devastating. Like, yes, Chitin splitting is on the way, Ultra's on their way. But as a 2-base Zerg, like, is he going to take fights off creep? He has done such a good job in saving all of his
He's trying to catch this army, not to retreat and regroup with the rest.
Oh my goodness, he still has those Burrowed Banelings as well, but there aren't even that many Marines anymore. Elaze is finally going to try to fight this army. We'll get a pretty good engagement at first. Chitin is not totally done yet.
He's pushing him towards the Banelings. Can he get the connection? No, not really, no. That's a little bit far. Ultras finally come in, but Chitin's plating wasn't ready there.
Oh my goodness, there are so many drones there on the right side. Elaze is going to try to save his drones. Wanted to take that base as well, but Innovation is like, nope. There are so many drones.
Innovation is like, am I a joke to you? I'm standing right there with my entire army, dude.
This Marine's having a field day. He's like, everywhere I'm shooting, I'm hitting drones. This is fantastic. Not even on the impression, not on creep either. As a 2-base, the drones are going to fight the Marine. What a battle.
Tonight we make a stance, and Laser is feeling the pressure right now. Innovation pressing forward. He's got double the army supply, look at it.
Yep, doesn't have a lot of SCBs, but he's got the army supply, he's got the upgrades. GG gets called. Innovation does back up his words, and he gets a 2-0 victory. But I think Elazer played a pretty strong series. The micro though from this man on creep,
yeah,
he made those splits look effortlessly and easy. Can guarantee you that it's not easy.
Yeah. Execute split.exe.
It's working, it's running smoothly. Wow. Quite a series. Elazer put up a good fight. Maybe the first game, a couple of missed opportunities. The second game, I love the counterattack eventually. But I also think once again, like he had such a great fight on the left side of the map where Innovation wasn't paying attention. But it felt like he got a bit overeager there, right? And kind of overstepped his boundaries. Didn't kill the PF, didn't kill the Thor either, like you said. It was good, but it was not good enough for this man. We're going to head over to a very small break. And after that, we'll be back with Smix and Inno.